Right, you're back with Hot Stocks, and I'm talking with Gary Boyson about our big South African banks. Next on our list for investigation is Nedbank. Okay, remember this is the green one that is operated locally but controlled out of London by Old Mutual. I suppose that's fair, although Old Mutual to some extent is Cape Town plus a bit of international. It's got a market cap of 126 billion rand, so I think you're keeping track here of how we're coming down the league tables in terms of size. Price earnings ratio very similar, 12. Dividend yield, again, very similar, 4%. Gary, under Mike Brown, this one has done very well in the last 10 years, which is a useful time frame because that excludes their rather disastrous early part of the 2000s. They got recapitalized. But since then, they've done well relative to their peers, perhaps off a lower base.
Yeah, no, for sure. If you look at it over 5 years, second best performing after first round, if we ignore the stellar run of Capitec, which actually makes it third. But yeah, no, very, very good. I mean, again, ROE is sort of, sitting in that sort of middle teens across the whole group, but that really dragged back a little bit by retail, which I think comes in at about an ROE of about 13.
But retail seems to be doing better. They've rejuvenated retail.
It is getting better than it was, but it's still low compared to the business bank. I mean, if you look at the wealth and like the investment sides, you look at Nedbank Capital, Nedbank Corporate as well. I mean, these are like 30+ ROEs. It's absolutely spectacular. By far the best teams in the market, no question. And it's that retail business that still drags it back when you get the average. But I think good opportunities here. It's a nice bank if they can get that retail bank firing properly. Sure, then sky's the limit for this one. It can really do well.
So what you're alluding to is that their real strength has been, even though they're a little bit smaller, has been margins in that corporate business, where for one reason or another they just seem to have like a good entree into certain property sector and other corporate lending where they've performed well and been more careful. And the leadership team also interesting. I've noticed in recent months that there's a bit of a revolving door going on with Old Mutual. So it seems no worries to the Old Mutual guys. They'll grab a guy out of this business, Ingrid Johnson, Dave McCready, those kind of people. But then again, as you said earlier, banks, because they attract so many ambitious people and pay excellent salaries, there's never any shortage of some overconfident individual prepared to take a new job higher up the feeding chain.
Definitely. I mean, it's actually in the results. I mean, they did discuss the succession and how they have managed to fill a number of key executive roles. I know because we work with Nedbank so much, again, probably because it's such a good business bank. But a lot of the analysts from Nedbank have also moved to Old Mutual, just as you're saying. So Old Mutual definitely poaching staff. But
and the COO is Mfundo Nkutlu. He's the new guy that is in all likelihood going to succeed Mike Brown in due course, although Mike Brown's not particularly old.
No, I think good all round. And I mean, the one thing that we haven't even talked about, sort of the Africa expansion, which I think you have to talk about on all of these banks. And they've got that partnership with EcoBank, and I mean, management has now decided to take up their 20% stake, gives them a huge footprint in Africa for next to nothing.
Potentially, if they were to take it out.
Yeah.
Share price chart that doesn't look right. I think that doesn't look like the right share chart to me.
That's definitely
We'll replace it with the correct one in a minute. So the share price chart actually looks quite solid, looking good, performing second best, as you say, compared to first round excluding. Anyway, hot or not on this one?
Yes, definitely hot. Definitely.
You like it too?
Got to be hot on Nedbank, yeah.
Okay, good. And there's always the possibility that there could be some corporate action down the line, but certainly we like this one and we like the way it's performing. I'm going to go with hot with this one too. Okay.